Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. It's episode 35 of Career Mode. Lots of big games to get through in today's episode in the Premier League as we try and stay in the top 4 with 12 games to go. We've got the FA Cup 4th round away against Leicester where we'll start today, and we might have the Champions League last 16. We'll have the draw for it no matter what. We might squeeze in the games as well. But yeah, the first game would indeed be Leicester in the FA Cup 4th round. I don't think they've been in the Premier League yet in the save, so taking them on at the King Power. This of course is the ground where Norton spent his last 2 years out on loan, developed brilliantly, and hopefully his return there, he'll get us a goal or two and send us through to the last 16 for the 4th year in a row. It's the first of many games today. Leicester in the Cup. How are the lads? Yeah, I don't think they've been in the Premier League yet. I mean, no, in my memory, they were probably in it last year. I just couldn't remember facing them. But yeah, they've obviously helped develop Kyle. So as he's returning today, I'm sure we'll get a good reception as he's on the ball and straight away looks for an early opener. No, Norton. You know he's going to score today. I think the bookies might as well have suspended odds on him being AGS, man. Maybe not FGS, but definitely AGS. He will score today. Absolutely. I said him going to Leicester, I remember when he sent him there, I thought that would be a good move for him. It's been a good move for us as well, because he's come back, being our top scorer and our best player. Now that was very unlucky. Harry Winks looking to play it out wide to Thomas, and does. First touch is good. Ball inside by Winks was better, and the finish was exquisite. Patson Daka gives the Championship side the lead. Okay, the past 2 years I've absolutely bottled our run in the FA Cup, and season 1, you know, Man City in the final, like no one really. Go on, Chris. Go on, Chris. Yes. Gave us much of a chance. We did well to make it competitive, but we shouldn't have been knocked out in the quarters in Season 2. We should have beaten Villa, and last year we should have beaten Brentford at home. I'm not letting it happen again. I am not blowing it again. The past 2 years were bad enough. It's not happening for the 3rd year in a row. If we're going to get knocked out in the Cup, it's going to be by a far better team than us. If, you know, it's Liverpool, if it's Man City, if it's Chelsea, whatever, fine, don't mind. But it's not going to be a team we should be beating. Not again. Not again. Lovely ball through, that's a handball. Robbie's in the middle. Holds it up brilliantly. Rig is through, and I possibly could have waited for Kyle to run through, but not taking the chances. Chris has had a brilliant season for us in what you call sporadic minutes. Gets another. Black Cat's in front. He is a big reason why we won the Conference League last year, Chris Rigg. Brought him back from his loan spell in January, and he scored a couple of goals on our run to the final, and on our run to winning the trophy as well. And today, he's single-handedly completed a turnaround in what is going to be a big escape against the Championship side. Almost there with 18 to play. In fact, despite conceding the first goal, we have looked the better team out there. And the 3rd goal wrapped this up, and Abdul back at Leicester himself. Ooh, almost got it. And final chance for Leicester to force extra time. It's going to come from a corner as well, deflected to the back of Harrison Burrows. And this could be a 30-minute extender. Corner whipped in, headed in on goal by Patson Daka off the crossbar as he almost bagged his brace and gave Leicester 30 more minutes to try and get themselves through. But instead, a little underwhelming today against the Championship side. But as we often say, most important thing you can do is just get the win. That is what champions need to do. And if we are to win a trophy this season, scrape wins like this will do me just fine. Promise David almost got the dagger. In the end, it's denied, but Sunderland aren't prevented from their progress into the last 16 for the 4th consecutive season. I'm making a name for myself as being a good manager to face in the Cups, but still haven't won it yet. Let's see what we've got in the last 16. Or I should say a tough manager to face in the Cup, because again, we've only lost 3 times in this competition, and never before the last 8. So as we progress through, we'll do 1 advance in the calendar, and that should see who we'll take on in the following round. And fingers crossed, another EFL side, this time at home, please. It's not. It's West Ham away. Just one there, but a tricky test there against Graham Potter's side. We'll definitely play that game today as well. But before we get there, our attention draws back to the Premier League. Again, right now, 12 games to go, 3 clear in the Champions League places, but it is so tight right now. I mean, there are like 7 teams that are going for 3rd and 4th place. We are one of them. If we are going to stay there, then we need to keep on winning our home games and get another big 3 points here. Next up, Nottingham Forest at the Stadium, My word, this has been a terrible game. 12 minutes into the second half, still tied at 0-0. Nothing going on until right now. Callum Wender coming through, shooting. Roos makes the save, but the rebound turned in by Elliot Anderson, and Forest have the lead. Quick counter from the visitors, and Nottingham Forest stun the Stadium alight silent. Can't lose this. Also, where was I going with Guerrero? I thought it had switched to Siddiqui. It hadn't. I wanted to run into to Anderson with Siddiqui, and the auto switch didn't happen like it ordinarily does. So Guerrero just runs off the pitch. There's been a couple of moments this season where I've absolutely mucked up with him badly, where it's giving the ball away in my own area, or moments like that where the lack of intelligence is there. He's a heck of a player going forward, but at times on defence, he looks like James Harden. Yeah, it's weird because there's been a couple of games this season where defensively he shut down the opposition right winger. Oh, it's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Catches Robin out at the near post and makes it 2. But there's other games where I just have not held my own with him. And speaking of holding my own, I've not done it today, period. Callum Hudson-Odoi catches out Robin. It's a brilliant bent effort into the top corner. Forest 2 goals up, and that is going to do it, no doubt now. There's something about free kicks that catch the keeper out at the near post, which I absolutely love. It's just glorious when it happens. And Payet scored a free kick. I think it was against Palace, I think. But I'll try and remember to leave a link in the description. It was beautiful. But what's not been beautiful today has been my defending, my performance, and my game. Callum Owendo wraps it up. And I said recently, every season you do, there is always a game where it just comes out of left field, you expect a reasonably comfortable win, and you get absolutely turned over. You've just seen it. Nottingham Forest in the second half play some scintillating football and punish the timid Black Cats. A 3-0 scoreline at the Stadium alight, and these are the performances that will not get us back in the Champions League for next season. That was pathetic. Yeah, with Man City looking a lot for the title now and Chelsea in second, I would say from Arsenal in 3rd to Liverpool in 9th with 11 to go, any of these teams could still make those 3rd and 4th Champions League spots. And whilst we're still in it for now, back-to-back losses, and we guaranteed will be outside the top 4. Because next up is a tough one against one of our Champions League place rivals. That is going to be Spurs away in North London. Always a tough place for anyone to go, especially us. I don't think we've won here yet. I think we've beaten them at home, but I don't think we've beaten them away yet. So very tough test away in North London. But a win here could get us back on track and possibly back into 3rd place as well. So a massive game to follow on from. Can't afford another performance like that. Next up, Spurs in North London. I just realised I forgot to do the draw for the last 16 as well. So we'll find out after the game. I'll make sure to remember. We'll see who we've got. And again, fingers crossed. Is he onside there, Talby? Is he? Oh no, he's off. He's off. For a second there, I was like, play continue. Norton poked it home, but the flag was indeed offside for the entry pass. But yeah, we'll find out who we've got. Fingers crossed. It's a kind-ish draw. But as I always say in the Champions League, like, whoever you're going to face is going to be tough no matter what. So, yeah, just my hope is we won't get drawn against a, Real Madrid, for example, or the team that won it last year were Barcelona, for those curious. Fingers crossed it's not one of the Europe elite teams, if you will. There's Norton, looks to turn, just couldn't get through. Kudus through the gap, finds Xavi Simons. That's well tackled by... No! No. Come on. That is a fair tackle by Lucharel. I mean, there is a push on the head. Okay, I mean, that probably is a pen. Actually, sorry, that's my bad. That is definitely a pen. I did not see the arm come out with Lucharel. The tackle was fine, but elbow going into the head definitely wasn't as Matthias Tell gives Spurs the lead. Initially, I was not happy. After the replay, I can see why it's given. Tell going for the golden boot, gives Spurs the lead. Steve wins it back. And now Talby with the 1-2 of Hannibal. 2 men in the middle. One is Norton. The other is, Rig. And Ashley Phillips prevents the through ball going to him. Still down by 1. Haven't actually played badly in this first half. Just a little unlucky with a penalty, really, because I certainly didn't ask Luchurel to shove his arms out. It's what... Oh, where? Steve comes all the way to... I thought I was dribbling with... I thought that was Norton at first. It was a Steve, but it worked out. Hannibal through the gap. Talby to give us the level, and does. And Sunderland hit back right before the break. Come on. I thought that was Norton charging after him. It was our centre-half, Steve. Talk about high risk, high reward. I mean, if we would have failed to intercept now over Steve, Spurs would have seen gap in the back four for Sunderland. Only one centre-half back. Push the pace, get yourself forward. And a chance for a second goal, but high reward instead. We had one extra attacking piece available off the ball. Quick little move. Talby through. Sunderland back on level terms. And now, can we say, oh, that's a red. That's a red for sure. Can we say Sunderland in front? How is that a booking? Have you just seen him scythe down Siddiqui from behind? How is that only a booking? That is naughty. That is a clear red. I am seething on the side, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. They were right about the penalty decision. They are not right about that. Spurs should be down to 10, as far as I'm concerned. That is a terrible tackle, and Siddiqui gets our first injury of the season. I think that could well end up being a 3-monther as well. Feisty game, but you love it, man. These are the games that are so fun to play. And is there going to be a winner in the final minute? Steve wins it back. Talby, Hannibal, Norton. Talby for the win! Yes! Come on! Get in! And a massive moment in the race for a Champions League place. 2 for the Belgian-born Moroccan, and Sunderland have won it and snatched it right at the end. Limbs in the away end in North London. Brilliant ball by Norton, and the composure from the number 7 to win it for Sunderland. Oh, there's some argy-bargy on the sidelines. There's some argy-bargy. There's some handbags raised. There's not, but EA, there should be. It's what we want to see. Come on. Sunderland win it. What a pivotal moment that could be in the race for a Champions League place. Oh, yes. And speaking of Champions League, let's see who we got in the last 16. Yeah, I think Spurs should have gone down to 10 men, personally, for Archie Gray's tackle on Siddiqui. That looked like a straight red to me from behind. But listen, we got there in the end. Come on. And let's see who we've got in the last 16. We'll check on the Siddiqui injury in a moment as well. But it's going to be... Oh, no. But it does mean I get to go to the Allianz, to be fair. I said I really want to go to the Allianz. Now that it's back in FC for the first time in ages. Oh, some tasty ties there, aren't there? But Bayern with the first leg away. Can we squeeze those games in today? Can we squeeze both legs in? I'd like to. Let's have a look. We played 3 today, so that's going to be 4, 5, 6. Oh, can I do it? Yeah, go on. Go on, squeeze them in. How bad is the injury for Siddiqui as well? Because that, to me, looked like a 3-monther, I think. Yeah, broken toe. The classic broken toe career mode injury. To be fair, though, it's the first time I've been glad to get it, because for those that are new to career mode, basically, broken toes were like the most common career mode injury you can get. But it's the first we've had in the save. But that's Siddiqui done for the campaign. I think he might come back for the final couple of weeks, but for the most part, Siddiqui now out for the rest of the season, and a big blow as our heartbeat in the midfield trio is done for the majority of the campaign. Oh. Right, following game, Leeds away, Ellen Road, massive win there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And like I said, man, those are the games. 15 plus DLC. Wouldn't have been brilliant to find a whistle if you could have seen some pushing and shoving and a little bit of animosity between both sets of teams and benches and staff members as well. But with 10 to play, destiny is still in our own hands. 3 clear of Manchester United. If we win our remaining fixtures, we will guarantee a Champions League place for next season. Let's start with another win here away from home. Leeds at Ellen Road. How are you doing, lads? Yep, 15 plus DLC. It's not a meme, but it is a dream I have, because ultimately, I understand why EA wouldn't allow for scuffles and skirmishes on a 3+ base game. You've got to think of the kids, I get that. As Fatawu almost bent in a beautiful opening, but a 15 plus DLC, surely at that point, yeah. Let's crack on with some more feisty post-match scenes. I'm not saying it needs to be stupid, you know, silly things like kung fu kicks or whatever. But you see in real life just how passionate and emotional the game can be when there's so much riding on it. Never forget Netherlands and Argentina, what happened I was going to say last year then. Goodness, it was like 3 years ago at the World Cup. But yeah, I'm a firm believer. It made the game more realistic, more immersive. And in games like that where the pressure was building, it was bubbling. You saw it with the penalty, the yellow card for Gray, that should have been a red in my opinion. It boils over sometimes. It definitely would have done there in real life too. Anyway, still 0-0 here. This game's not got started. I haven't turned the gas on yet. My God, that was an awful game. And you might have just seen a game which was as feisty as a fixture can possibly be in career mode, but that was shocking. Neither manager looking for a bust-up at the final whistle, just glad to be going home after that boring goalless draw. 1 win in 3 for Sunderland though, and definitely starting to slow down. And for the following fixture, a really tough one. West Ham away at the London Stadium. We were just here in the league and won it late, but now we meet in the cup. Last 16 had a chance to get through to the quarterfinals for the 4th successive year. How are the lads? Yeah, 1 win in 3 now for Sunderland. Only 2 goals in our last 3. Held scoreless in those 2 of our last 3 we failed to win as well. So certainly slowing down a little bit. And that's why today, not the time we want to be going into a quarter-final. And with the last 16 against Bayern in the week, first leg at the Allianz, man, I can't wait. I said I can't wait to... go on, man, have a dig. Oh, good save by Falcone. I can't wait to play at the Allianz for the first time since it's been back in FC. I'm really excited to see how good it looks with the new graphics. And we shall find out in 3 in-game days' time. Before we get there, though, concentrate on this one. Let's make sure we progress through to the quarterfinals. Dan Neal through to Ahmad. And now Hannibal, wonderful turn. Oh, off the post. What a goal that would have been. And actually, I think I might have just said this was the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Obviously, it's not. It's the last 16. We have got to the quarter-final every year. And as I said in the episode opener today, I'm not letting us go out of the FA Cup to a team who we, quite frankly, at the moment are better than. You know, if we're going to go out, it's going to have to be against someone like, you know, Man City or Liverpool. I'm not dropping the ball again. Thought it'll be the 3rd straight year. Ahmad agrees. Come on! Big goal from the ex-Red Devil, and Sunderland strike first with 10 to play in the first. Lucas Paquetá finds Ward-Prowse. Oh, what a ball by JWP. Great goal. Excellent goal from West Ham. And it's the kind of football I've been playing since the start of the save, but instead, shoes on the other foot for this one. Nice little move inside, and Francolino gives the Irons the leveller. Come on, man. Can't drop the ball here. Just drop a silly couple of points away down the road. Got beat by Forest at home. Not in this game as well. We've got to win this. Of course, one thing I'm forgetting as well is this is our last winnable competition of the season. Oh, surely. Oh, yeah, I've got to stop doing that, man. I'm sorry. But for that moment there, it just made sense. Quick little ball through. It's 2 for Ahmad. It is 2 for Sunderland. And the Black Cats are back in front. Great hold up from Promise David. Ahmad slipped through for the 2nd time this afternoon. And that is something that I really need EA to work on, man. He was going to score no matter what, obviously. But those Thierry Henry skill shots are basically an automatic goal this year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was going to score anyway, going through one-on-one like that. But... yeah, EA need to realise that those pieces of technique are hard enough to do, let alone score from, you know. So I understand why they've made it such an easy way to score, because basically, for those that may not know, Thierry Henry, one of the greatest Premier League players of all time, I don't think he invented that skill, but as promised, should wrap it up, and does. He was kind of famed for doing it, if you will. And this year, you might notice that his iconic smirk celebration is in the game. So yeah, I've got a little bit of partnership with Henry for this year's FC. So that kind of skill shot now is the most common one you do when you hold down the left trigger. But like, they're hard to execute in real life, but in the game, they're basically an automatic goal when you shoot that way, which to me is just a bit silly. But anyway, it's free, it's game. Promise wraps it up. We had to come from behind to get the win, like we have done in quite a few games recently, but we are going to be making it through. Quarterfinals for the 4th straight year, here we come. And there was an injury for Leicester as well. Not sure if I included it in the highlights, but if I didn't, he did go down and stay down for a few seconds, so that might possibly be another injury to add to the Siddiqui one. Finally getting some injuries, and we'll check on how long it's going to be in a moment, but as we advance through, we should now have the draw, and in the quarterfinals, we'll be taking on Everton at home. A couple of VFL sides still remaining, but it will be David Moyes' side. Oh, that's the other Premier League manager. Do you know recently I was saying only 2 PL managers have survived here? That's the other one. David Moyes is still at Everton. But anyway, before we get there, heading into this, oh mate, I literally cannot wait. It is Bayern Munich away at the Allianz Arena in the last 16 of the Champions League. Luchurel will miss the first leg with a bruised shoulder, but will be back for the second leg. But hopefully when we return to the Stadium of Light, we'll still be in the tie as we take on the team who may have finished last year 4th in the Bundesliga, but are still the best team in Germany and definitely one of the favourites to win the whole thing. I'm so excited, man. The Allianz Arena, iconic ground, back in FC. It's the first time we're playing there, and it's Bayern away in the first leg of the Champions League last 16. How are the lads? I have a list of stadiums that I'm desperate to visit one day. Iconic grounds across the world, which would be so cool to watch a game in. And the Allianz, of course, is definitely up there as well. The exterior to the ground is what I love so much. It's one of those grounds where the exterior makes it unique, if that makes sense. And I love grounds that are like that. You know, the exterior makes it what it is, really. And one day, when I become financially stable, one day, I will get to go there. One day, manifest it with me. But tonight we're here and almost got the opening goal there. Comfortable save for Jonas Urabig, but had to be made. I think it was sneaking in. And from the corner, Vitawu's delivery is punched away on the nick of time. I was going to say headed in, but cleared away. And this is a very encouraging start from Sunderland. So second half underway, 13 after the restart, still 0-0. We kept buying quiet for the most part out there. And I was worried about no Luchurel. Why, it's Roosters really want to claim that. Why, when it comes down to corners, do you often see that your tallest man in the middle is marking no one? And sometimes you'd have one of your smallest players on the pitch marking a big centre half. Why is Anthony being asked to mark Bramer there? That's just silly. But as we're still tied at 0-0, at the moment I'm definitely thinking if we can go home with a goalless draw, I am not going to say no to that. With a chance of possibly putting off a shot, but here come Bayern in the second half. We knew they were going to come through at some point. They have. What a save, Bruce! Oh no! How has that gone in? Bayern do strike and get in front with 25 minutes to go, but Openda claims it. But I think that went off roofs. Bayern are a team who sometimes will wear you down and break through in the second half, but oh no, he did react on time at first. Roos made a good initial save, but at first I thought when he span around, he accidentally kicked it into the back of his own goal. But no, it's the Belgian who gets it. In last year's career mode, if you watched me back then, you'll know Lois Openda literally scored against me every single time I faced him. He's done it again. And in this year's FC, he's got a good record against me too. Bayern in front is one of my arch nemesis, and that might be the goal that knocks out the Champions League. Yeah, it sounds a bit dramatic, really, when we've still got a whole second leg to play, but I've not been able to break down Bayern's midfield at all. Kimmich and Bellini have been brilliant, and speaking of which, it's Joshua for the dagger, and Bayern will take a 2-goal lead heading back to England. We'll still be in with a shout, but over time they gradually wore us down, got their goals, and will have 1 foot in the quarterfinals. My first time visiting the Allianz, it's not going to end with joy. Well, I certainly wouldn't say we're out of the competition, but we're going to have a very tough time if we're going to overturn this deficit. Blunted by Bayern, a 2-0 win in the first leg, and I'll say they've got 1 foot in the quarterfinals. We need a performance of a lifetime if we're going to make it through from here. And after only 2 wins in our last 5 in all competitions, we really need to get back on track. Following game away from home, Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Huge game here in the dress rehearsal for the FA Cup quarter-final as you aim to get back to winning ways and stay in a Champions League place. Let's get back on form here. How are you, lads? I always feel like if you, as a company, become the first sponsor of a new stadium, you're kind of set for that stadium's lifetime duration, I feel. I mean, Coventry Stadium is now called the Building Society Arena, but to a lot of people it's still the Rico. Swansea's, I don't even know what it's called now, but for most people it's still the Liberty. Do you know what I mean? And so for the Hill Dickinson Stadium, it's a mad, almost belted in an early opener. I mean, there was a while when I thought it was going to, just like Spurs' stadium, still be called the Everton Football Club Stadium, but since they've won the naming rights, I think they're kind of set for the stadium's lifetime now. Like, Man City could change the name of their stadium. Everyone's still going to call it the Etihad. Same with Arsenal and the Emirates. It's theirs now. The only difference, of course, is if that stadium has been without a sponsor for the majority of its life cycle, and then a sponsor comes along, it's not going to change. Like, it's not going to change. Like, is Spotify Nou Camp? Rubbish. No one's calling it that. Apart from Spotify themselves. As Norton plays a great ball through, and for Turbo! Come on! Smacks in the opener for his 6th of the year, and Sunderland lead at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yeah, it's been quite an underwhelming season for Fatawi, really. Oh, what a goal! 6 in 30 isn't that bad for a winger, but for someone of his class, you'd expect a little bit more. But Yeremy Pino has just scored an absolutely unbelievable goal. Lost the ball in possession with Garreau, flicked in, and half-volley past Roos in a flash. 1-1, the Spaniard with the leveller, and Everton equalise almost instantly. There's Norton. Hezes, oh wonderful, wonderful, what a run! Norton, oh what a response! Kyle Norton ends the mini goal drought and puts Sunderland back on level terms with a genius bit of dribbling. Great Heze, great footwork, better finish, what a wonderful goal from the kid. And by the way, earlier I said that it was Yeremy Pino who got the leveller for Everton. It wasn't, it was Yeremy, two different players. But a goal of fantastic class that Yeremy Pino, who has one of the highest potentials as a winger in this game, would have been proud of. It's 2-1, and there's definitely a 4th goal today. It's been a really good game. Dewsbury Hall shot, blocked, and it will drop back to Tim. Good save by Roofs, and turn behind for a corner. 33 minutes to go. There's a 4th goal, no doubt about it. If we get it, it's game. If Everton get it, they could flip this script, and there it is. Turned in on the rebound, 2-2. What a game. And this is going to be quite a long episode today, so I hope you enjoy it. Normally I feel like the sweet spot for Karimo video episodes is around 20 to 25 minutes, but I've seen some comments from people saying they prefer the longer episodes, like plus 30 minutes. Let me know in the comments how long you like your Karimo episodes. I don't mind making them longer if you prefer, but this one is definitely going to be one to sit and enjoy in its fullness. And speaking of fullness, well, our tank is running empty because once again, oh Norton! Oh, what a goal that would have been! He scored a wonderful goal in the first, and that would have been the goal of the season, man. Excellent footwork. But how often have you seen it this year? Just couldn't finish Brandvoort off the bar. And the former Toffee almost won it. 20 to play. Is there going to be a late winner? And one final twist in this epic tale. What a brilliant, brilliant game that was. A 4-goal thriller. But it is worth pointing out, it's another game which Sunderland failed to win. And whilst we'll still be in the top 4, it is now only 2 wins in our last 6 and 1 in our last 4 as well. Definitely starting to struggle now at a critical moment in the season. And we'll end on this, our final game today. It is Bayern at the Stadium of Light as the German side come to the northeast of England. And whilst we're still technically in the tie, we'll need a miraculous kind of performance if we are to turn this around and make the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Our final game today, Bayern at home in the second leg. Never say never, but we'll need something very special and a performance of the save tonight if we're to make it through. How are the lads? There has been some absolutely epic comebacks in Champions League knockout history. I don't think this is going to get added to the list. I'll give it a good go. I've got a strong lineup out there. I'll give it my best shot. But what we need is an early goal. I think we get an early goal, then with the place rocking, you never know, could possibly cause a seismic level of comeback atmosphere. Because you know when those atmospheres are rocking, when a team gets one back, when they're trailing by 2 or more, it's amazing when the crowd's proper into it. It's almost like they're a 12th player out there, but if you concede early, then there's no crowd atmosphere whatsoever. Bayern get the early opener. It is 1, and it is probably game. I can't see us coming through from here. I knew when the tie was drawn, it would take a monumental effort to make the quarterfinals. And this game here has just proved we're not at this level yet. Like, chasing a Premier League championship, I'd say we're still 1 or 2 years away, minimum. Outclassed by Bayern. The board may have asked us to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League in our debut year, but we're not one of the best 4 teams in the world yet. We're not even one of the best 4 teams in the country yet. So not surprised our progress will end here. Did really well to make it through the league phase and finish in a top 8 position as well. But in this tie against Bayern Munich, they've shown their class. They've absolutely dominated and they've put their Black Cats back in their place. A 5-0 demolition job from one of Europe's elite. And if this is the level we want to get to, we need to be as ruthless as Bayern has been. But instead, we were absolutely humble. But that'll do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return in the next one. We're on the back of a really poor run for Sunderland. No wins in our last 3, only 1 in our last 5. We'll need to pick it up. More big games in the Premier League with 9 games to go. We're still in the top 4 and the FA Cup quarter-final against Everton as we try and make Wembley for the 2nd time in the save. Have a brilliant day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.